Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Happy 2023. I hope you're all well and excited for today's video, which is all of my makeup, hair care, skincare, body care, all of my empties from 2022, from the whole year. I know that my last few videos have been like very dark lighting wise, but we actually have not had sunshine here for, I think it's been a few weeks now, and look at the forecast for the next like 8 days. Like there's a tiny bit of sunshine in there, but it's actually wild. And this is the longest. Anyways, you guys don't care. Hopefully the lighting looks okay, but in case it doesn't, that is why. Oh my goodness. This massive bag here. This is all of my empties from 2022. So last year I actually divided this video up into two. I did a video on all of my makeup empties and then all of my skincare body care type of empties. But I'm just going to do this all in one. Or at least I'm going to start and see how it goes. But I will try to not take too long with each item because there are so many things in here. I was just reviewing last year's video to see, you know, how many items I had, how many makeup products I'd finished, and last year was 43. I don't think I hit anywhere near that many this year. If I get like 20 to 25, I will be happy, but I actually don't know the final number, so we will discover that together. I am going to go through and sort everything out. Don't you worry. I will show you, you know, I'm not just going to be like, oh, I finished this and I finished this. I'll show you I finished 2 foundations, I finished 3 concealers, or whatever the numbers are. So I will sort through this and probably see you in half an hour when I'm done sorting. Okay, I am back. I have organized, kind of. I have sorted, and I have the final number of makeup empties, but I'm going to discuss them all first and then I'll tell you the number. I don't want you to click out in case you're just here for the number. Unfortunately, I did not finish quite as many as last year. In fact, it's quite a bit below my number last year, but there are actual good reasons for that, which I will discuss. But first category, I'm going to start with foundation, and this one I actually improved upon how many I finished last year. So last year I finished 2. This year I finished 3. Oh, also there's a few of these that I finished in December, so they won't have been in my most recent empties and declutters video. I do that every couple of months. The last one is from November. I will link it here. But yeah, so some of these you might not know that I have finished. So the most recent one is this Becca product. I'm not going to discuss this because you already know the drill, but I'm really glad that I got this one out finally. That was the oldest foundation in my collection, so really I should have been working on that before the other ones. The next one is this CoverGirl Clean Fresh Skin Milk Foundation. I finished this earlier on in the year, and this one I actually quite liked. Also, I have one broken nail on this hand, so I'm going to try to use this hand to demonstrate. And then this third one, of course, the infamous Tarte Foundation. And this also was finished towards the earlier part of the year, and I had actually hoped to finish it in 2022. I didn't, but at least I get to include it in this video. So I finished 3. 2 of them, of course, were already had quite a bit used up in them because I'd been trying to pan them for so long. So yeah, I'm not surprised that I managed to finish 3, but I'm still glad that I did. The next category is concealers. Now last year I managed to finish 2 concealers, and this year I also managed to finish 2. So we were going at the same rate for complexion products. Technically, it's not exactly 2 because these 3 are samples, but I'm just gonna combine them and call this 1. I don't know if that's exactly accurate. I can count that up. So that is 1 gram, and then this, it doesn't say how much is in it. So let's just say that this is like 3 grams, 4 grams, something like that. And then this one, I know it's quite a bit bigger, 9 milliliters. Is a milliliter the same as a gram? Anyways, big difference in sizes, but I'm just gonna call 3 minis 1 full size. I think Rebecca Morgan did that at some point, so taking her lead. So this is the MAC concealer. I've had this for a long time. I just need to get it out. Yeah, I don't need to talk at length about all of these things because pretty much everything I have discussed in a empties video at some point or other. So if you're really curious, you can check those out. But I have so many products to get through. I'm just gonna say what they are. So And then these two are the Kosas Revealer Concealer, and this one, I think this was a Danessa Myricks. I didn't like any of these, actually. I might have liked them better if they weren't in like sample sizes, but honestly, probably not. Didn't enjoy. Oh, sorry, I'm supposed to say if I would repurchase any of these things. Not so far. Maybe the CoverGirl Skin Milk. I think this has a really bad shade range, so probably not. But for the most part, I think I hated my items less than I did last year. Like last year, I was absolutely not buying any of these again. This year, I might have a couple where I might be inclined to. Also, primers. I didn't realize this until checking last year, but I didn't finish any primers this year. I was working on the Becca primer for pretty much the entire year, and I'm also just not into primers as much. I think last year the reason I got through 3, some of them were minis, was because I just had them and I wanted to get them out. But yeah, in the future I won't see that number as high again for sure. Okay, this next category is blush, and surprisingly I finished the same number as last year. I finished 2, so these are the e.l.f. shimmer sheets. This didn't take that long because there was a, limited number of sheets, and this was the Makeup Gallery Feeling Blush. And you might not know that I finished this, but I actually finished it in the last couple days of December, so just barely got in there, which I was very relieved about to be able to include it in this video. Last year I also finished 2 blushes, but honestly it's possible that this number is 0 in the future just because I got through all the blushes that I was like somewhat close to finishing, but it takes forever to pan a blush, so I honestly wouldn't be surprised if I had no blush empties next year. The next one is bronzer, and last year I also finished 2. One was a cream bronzer, and so, that doesn't take quite as long to finish, and the other one was a powder. And then this year I've kind of got 2. I'm just going to count it as 2 because this e.l.f. duo, I'm decluttering it because it's too old to use now, but I did get quite a bit of use out of it, and because I put in some good effort and it's leaving my collection, I'm just going to call it an empty. And then we've got the NYC bronzer. This was what I was working on for the vast majority of the year, and I'm just happy to have gotten that out. Again, next year, I don't know if I will be finishing any bronzers. I do have a NARS mini that I could possibly finish if I want to. I haven't decided if I want to get that out yet. But yeah, again, bronzer is a really hard category to pan. The next category is setting sprays, and this is another category where I think in the past I was just trying to use up what I had. So last year I had 2 setting spray empties, and the year before I had a few as well, but I no longer feel that it's a necessary part in my routine at this moment. Maybe I will in future. And so I'm just sort of using what I have when I want to. I used this one up. So this is a mini of the Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray, and I liked it. And this is the one that I currently have in my collection, a larger size. But I don't see myself like rushing out to buy it again. Yeah, I'm just not big on setting sprays anymore. But another thing I have in this category is the e.l.f. oil blotting sheets. I'm just going to consider them in the same category as sort of like a finishing step, because I tend to use this not when I've just finished my makeup, but if I've like done my makeup and then I've gone about my day and then I have something in the evening, let's say, then I will use this to, get rid of some excess oil. And I finished these this year, which was great. I have another pack that I'm working on, but yeah, essentially that category is the same this year, 2 empties, but next year I don't know if I'm gonna have any setting spray empties. That's not going to be a popular category in the future, I think. And speaking of unpopular categories, the main reason I think that my number is so much lower than last year is because of mascaras. Last year, I had 7 mascara empties. That number sounds probably ridiculous to you because I so rarely finish mascaras, but I honestly think it was just products that had like nothing left in them anyways, and so I decided it was time to get rid of them, but I called them empties because maybe I got 1 or 2 uses out of them. So were they empties or declutters? I don't know. Like I'm giving myself the benefit of the doubt. As I mentioned, like this, even though I didn't fully pan it, it's just easier to categorize it that way. So yeah, I had 7 that I finished last year. This year I have 1 mascara that I technically finished, but I'm actually considering it in the brow category this year. So somehow I didn't finish any mascaras. That sounds wild. I thought that I finished the 1x1 mascara this year. It was probably like the last couple days of 2021, so I got confused. And despite working on a few select mascaras all year, I didn't manage to finish any of them. But I think this number will be much better next year because I've been so intentionally panning a bunch of mascaras this year. But yeah, I'm so sorry. 0. This year we got 0. Next year I'm aiming for like 3 or 4. Next up, we've got powder. So last year I finished 1 full powder and then 2 sample sizes, which, you know, count that however you will. This year I only have 1, but it is for good reason. I finished my Laura Mercier powder recently, and this is huge. I think that the powder I finished last year was this size, like it was an NYC product that was in like the same container. So let's compare. 9.4, and then this one is 29 grams. So it's more than 3 times the size. So it makes sense that I only finished 1 this year. I probably will finish 1 next year as well, just because the rate of getting through powders is a lot faster than blush or bronzer. But I still think this is a pretty good accomplishment to even have finished it within the span of the year. I think I was also working on it in 2021, so that's why. And then the next category is highlight, which unfortunately I did not manage to finish any highlights this year. Last year I only had 1. But this year I was diligently working on a cream/liquid NYX highlight for most of the year and just didn't quite finish it up. I will for sure finish it next year, probably within the next few months. But yeah, highlight is another category that is quite slow. Okay, I already mentioned primers. I should say that all of the primers I finished last year were minis. So there's that, but I still counted them as full size. And then also kind of in that category, eyelid primers. I finished 3 eyelid primers last year, which is pretty impressive. 1 was a sample, 1 was a mini, and then 1 was actually a highlight, but I'd repurposed as a primer. It was that NYX double-ended stick, do you remember? So I actually finished the bronzer, like the contour side last year, and the highlight side, but I just used the highlight as an eyelid primer. So I got through all of those. This year, I have been working on a couple of different primers, some that I actually really enjoy, and then others like the NYX Milk Crayon that I really have not. But this is a category that goes quite slowly. Like my MAC Painterly paint pot takes forever. So yeah, hopefully I will have 1 eyelid primer empty next year, but I'm not surprised that I didn't finish any this year. That category takes a while. Okay, and then eyebrows. Ugh. Every time. Remember how I said someone text me? Every time. Okay, we've got 2 products in the eyebrow category, but this one technically has 2 empties in it. The previous year I had finished 1 of the 3 little thingies. This year I finished 2 of the powders, so that is great. Took a long time, you know? Eyebrow powder takes forever to pan. I wouldn't be surprised if the only pans that I have next year are from like brow gel and not actual powder, because I use powder and not like a brow pen or something. So this is the CoverGirl Nature Luxe Mousse Mascara. It is a mascara, but I have been using it as a brow gel and it works just fine. And I'm glad that I use it up that way because, as you know, I have many mascaras that I'm trying to get through, so I just need to come up with inventive ways to actually get use out of them. Okay, eyeshadow. Unfortunately, I don't have any that I panned this year. That just wasn't a goal for me. Last year I had my like pan those eyeshadows project pan, so I was kind of more thinking about eyeshadows. This year I brought in a bunch of palettes, and so I wasn't focused on panning any. Hopefully that will be different in the coming year because I do have some eyeshadows in my project pan this year. But yeah, nothing this past year. I'm not surprised though. The category I was surprised about is eyeliners. So this year I finished 2, which is good, but last year 7. Again, I think this is a case of some products had dried up, and so I just needed to try to get a couple more uses out of them, and then I would consider them pan. But some of them I actually did use up. It's pretty impressive. I had 2 pencil liners, a couple of liquid liners. Yeah, the liquid liners obviously are more likely to dry up. I have actually done a really good job of decluttering some eyeliners. That video I've already filmed, but it won't be coming out for a while. But stay tuned because I have minimized my eyeliner collection. I'm really happy about it. But this past year I panned 2. This one, it dried up, so it's a little bit of that. I also did try to get some use out of it, but not that much. And then this one is the KVD tattoo liner, waterproof liquid liner. I really enjoyed this, and I actually got another one of it because I didn't have any liquid liners. I was really missing that. So yeah, this was I guess this is the first thing that I'm like, yeah, would repurchase, because I have. I mean, technically it was a present, but this is the one thing I think that I was happy to bring back into my collection again. So just 2 still not bad, I think. Hopefully next year it'll be better. And then the final category is lips. Now I divided this into a couple different categories. We got lip balms, lip liners, and lipsticks because I've got something in everything. I'm happy about the final numbers at least. So these 2 I fully panned. This is the NARS. This was the sample from Sephora last year, I believe. I really like this lip balm, but I found that a lot of it was the packaging, because when I moved it into a different container, I did not like it. I never reached for it. And this one is Baby Lips. I figured it was just time to get it out, because what year did I get this? I don't know, and I don't want to know. And then this is the e.l.f. conditioning lip balm. This one I didn't technically finish. I mean, you can see there's still, oh, packaging just broke a little bit. There's still technically product in there, but I went through a whole saga with it. I feel like I put enough time and effort into it that I'm just gonna call it an empty. Last year it looks like I had 8 lip empties in total. This year I had 7, but you know, that's similar enough a number. I'm really happy with that. We've got 2 lip liners that I finished. This one, it kind of dried up. Oh, this was from Topshop. And then this one I actually finished. You can see it's a mini, but it still took a long time to work through, surprisingly. I really like the color of this, and this is as much as I can swatch. I recently got a lip liner that was a very similar color because I was missing it, and I actually wear nudes a lot, as you can see today. Final category is lipsticks. This one, ooh, again, I didn't quite finish. Please forgive me that some of these empties are not full empties, but to me, if I put enough effort into them, I'm just gonna count them that way. You remember this. I put a lot of time into it. And then this one is the Vital Radiance. Oh, and the packaging is broken. This is quite a bit earlier in the year, but I am glad that I got through it. And next year, I think that my lip category will similarly be quite high, because I have a whole lip project pan that I am planning, and I've actually started on it. I haven't posted the first video yet, but I've started panning a bunch of lip products, and I'm really excited about it. I'm really excited to get my lip product collection down a bit, because that was one of the categories where I just have an overwhelming number. Oh, and the last thing, I'm not counting this as an empty, but this is an eyelash curler pad. I had to get rid of it. I had to get a new one because you know how they get. So those are all of the makeup empties, but this is a larger video. I'm going to show all of the other empties as well, so don't leave. Let's go sort through those. Okay, I accidentally lumped this in with skincare, etc., but I think this is actually more makeup because it pertains to eyelashes. So this is a lash serum from L'Oreal, and again, this is a product that I ended up using on my eyebrows just because I wasn't quite sure how old it was, if I felt comfortable using it on my lashes. Yeah, the scent didn't change. I don't know if I can say that it did anything. I don't think it did, but it was kind of nice just like having an extra step in my evening routine. Sometimes you enjoy it being as long as possible, other times you just want it to be as short as possible. It was whatever. I wouldn't recommend it. I wouldn't repurchase it. I'm just glad that I finished it. I didn't say the total, but the total number of empties of makeup products that I had for the whole year, including this, was 24. Now, I had 15 products that I had successfully finished in my like plan to pan series. So that's 9 products that I finished organically, 15 that I finished intentionally. I think that's good. Yeah, those numbers make sense to me. Last year I had 43, so I'm kind of disappointed that it went down so much, but again, a lot of those were samples and I explained the reasons. So I can see it being a similar number or even slightly lower in the future. Yeah, I'll talk about all of that in a future like makeup plans, what my goals are for the next year, but let's just move into skincare empties for the year. Okay, let's start with my serums slash whatever that step of makeup could be categorized as. I'm just going to call them serums because I think they all are. I have 4 products. 3 of these were actually in my project pan because I really wanted to get them out. But in the end, all of these I was just trying to get out as soon as possible because they expired way more quickly than I was anticipating. I guess I was sort of expecting it to be like makeup expiration dates where it's just kind of more of a guideline that I don't take seriously at all, but with skincare it's a little more serious because if you don't use it up within the time, like it's probably not going to hurt you if it takes a couple extra months, but it's not going to have the intended benefits. So anyways, we've got 3 from The Ordinary and 1 from La Roche-Posay. I was trying to remember the brand of this the other day. I was explaining to my friend this vitamin C serum I'd use and I was like, I don't remember what it's called. Name some high-end brands. We couldn't figure it out, but anything that is cruelty-free, by the way, I obtained secondhand. Or I had it from so long ago, it was back when I was not cruelty-free. But let's start with this one. This is the Pure Vitamin C10 Serum. My friend decluttered this to me because she liked it, but she had 2, and yes, you can barely even get through 1 in the intended amount of time, let alone 2. So I thought it was fine, but I honestly kind of think I got this after the intended date that I was supposed to use it, so I don't know if it had any benefits. You know, we're all on this skincare journey. One of these days I will probably spend more time and money on skincare, but for now I just cannot be bothered. These 3 are from The Ordinary. Back when I was trying The Ordinary, I just sort of bought everything that was the most recommended. We've got the Marine Hyaluronics, Niacinamide 10% plus zinc 1%, and the Buffet Serum. I think the Buffet Serum is the most famous. Can't deny how cute these look. I really do love the aesthetic, but I just didn't find they made any difference, and it was kind of just like adding extra time to my skincare routine that I couldn't be bothered with. So I don't think I would repurchase those unless I was specifically told to by a dermatologist who knew my skin and whatnot. So we got 4 serums, and then I have 5 moisturizer empties plus 1 sample. Let me just start with the sample because I just finished this in the past month, so you won't have seen it. This was actually included when my friend Jay here on YouTube gave me a bunch of random stuff, and this was one of them. This was just a little sample from Nux Paris. I don't know how to say that. I've actually never heard of that brand. I thought that this was fine. Like, I didn't think it was bad. I didn't think it was great, but it was just very heavily fragranced, and I liked the scent of it, but I feel like if I had the full size, after a few weeks of use, I would probably get kind of tired of it. And then we've got 2 Pacifica products, the Pacifica Cosmic Shield and the Glow Baby Vitaglow Face Lotion, Vitamin C and Vitamin E. Maybe that's why it was smelling a little bit off. So I actually don't remember when I got this, but when I first started using it, which wasn't that long ago, I felt like it already had a scent that maybe wasn't intended. And I think maybe it's because it had vitamin C and vitamin E. So, you know, you're supposed to use up those products as soon as possible because of those ingredients. So I probably should have prioritized this as something to use, but you know, I liked it. I liked the packaging of it. It is glass, so I think I just saved it for the end of the year, but because of that, I ended up using this very, very quickly. Like, I was just smothering it on my face because I wanted to get it used up as soon as possible because I was worried it would expire. This one was actually better, despite, like, I like the packaging of this a lot better than this one, but this one didn't have that scent problem or the worry about the product in it. I'm kind of tempted to use this to, like, repurchase other moisturizers. I have thought about doing that because this is so much cuter than, say, the Ordinary one, but I don't know if I was... Oh yeah, it smells okay inside, but I don't know if I was fully able to get everything out of it. So, and I don't know if it's worth it to like move everything over into a different container. So I probably won't do that, but you never know. Then we've got the Ordinary Natural Moisturizing Factors plus HA. This remains just like a good solid moisturizer, inexpensive, cruelty-free, no frills, no scent. if I don't have any moisturizer, this is what I purchase. And then we've got two smaller ones. So this is a mini. This is from the Body Shop, a vitamin E moisture cream. This is very, very heavily fragranced as well, and I like the fragrance, but again, you kind of get a bit tired of it. I remember this as being very thick, and what's that word that starts with O? Like opulent? Like, you know what I mean? So if you like really, really thick feeling creams, you'll probably like this, but for me, I could only use that at night because otherwise it would just feel like there was so much on my face when I was putting makeup on. And then we've got the Recharge Cream. This was part of a gift that my partner had received. This also was very thick every time and not in a way that I liked. So yeah, wouldn't recommend it, wouldn't repurchase. This one I for sure would repurchase. So those are all my moisturizers. I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the little sample. And then last for skincare, we've got the kind of second step or makeup remover or micellar cleansing type products. So I'll try to go in, actually, let's start with the face wash. Shockingly, I could only find this face wash this year. How did I only finish one face wash? I don't know. Well, I think it's because I've been working on a lot of different ones. I sort of swapped them out because I have a bunch of face washes. I have like a lot of backups, kind of unintentionally. And so I get bored of them, then I try something else. So that's why I'll probably have a bunch more next year. But this, I didn't like that much. I only used it in the shower so that I could use other products at other times. Apothecary number 5. It's fine, whatever. Just glad to have gotten it out. Then we've got the Bioderma micellar water. I know a lot of people love this. I don't get the hype. This was not for me. I didn't particularly like the scent or the feel of it. It wasn't the worst that I've used, but it definitely wasn't the best. Not worth the hype. Then we've got the e.l.f. Holy Hydration Makeup Melting, oh my god, Makeup Melting Cleansing Balm. Are you done? Is this multiple people or the same person? We're putting Do Not Disturb on. People have been disturbing me. Okay, so basically with this, I found that I don't like cleansing balms. I just find it too cumbersome. I'd rather put something like this on like a makeup cloth type of deal or makeup cotton pad and put that on my face rather than have to go in and like essentially wash my face twice. I'm using this and then I'm also using a face wash. That's just extra work. And this is also a lot of packaging, so it wouldn't repurchase, but I like the aesthetic. Like, go e.l.f. They're doing a good job with skincare, except too much packaging. Okay, and then I would say these two are my least favorite. This I got from Buns. This is the Body Shop Chamomile Gentle Eye Makeup Remover. Really did not like the scent of this. Yeah, that was the main issue. It worked fine, but I would not repurchase because of the scent. And then we've got the M Black Spray Toner. I mean, it says spray toner, but I use this as like a makeup remover / eye makeup remover. So my typical steps are I wash my whole face and then I go in with the second step of micellar water or whatever. And this kind of worked in that way, but it wasn't what it was intended for, so wasn't always the best. But I was just trying to get it out as usual. So yeah, of these skincare products, you can tell that some things I would repurchase, whereas with makeup it's like nothing, but it's still not most products. And I want to get that number up. I want to be using products that I like a lot more because I find it easier to do that with skincare because you get through it so much quicker. So you come to know your likes faster. Okay, we've got a couple other Misk skincare products like sunscreen. Let's start with that. This is the Supergoop Play Everyday Lotion. Wow, this one seems so small now. I remember when I had this sunscreen, I thought it was such a big product, but now I have the larger size and I'm like, oh, this is such a little baby one, you know? Anyways, I love this. I actually got this from a Buns trade last year and it got me hooked. It got me onto it. After that, I liked it so much that I was like, oh, okay, I actually will purchase this. So I will repurchase this. I already have, and I will continue to. That was a good finish. Then we've got this Hawaiian Tropic Sheer Touch Sunscreen. This was just a sunscreen I'd had for ages. It actually had already expired when I finished it up. I think I finished it like early spring and it had been expired for a couple months, but I was like, whatever, I might as well just use it on my arms or whatever when I'm like working from home. And I have another one that I also need to do that with, that's just taking up space but already has expired, but I'm glad I got it out, and I wish that I had remembered to continue that with the other sunscreen I have. So 2 sunscreens, 1 body, 1 face. And then we've got this lip scrub. Oh, this actually I used as a container for some of my lip balms, so that actually is not really a skincare product. Then we've got this, the Body Shop Himalayan Charcoal Purifying Glow Mask. This was just a mini, but actually took quite a while to work through. I find that masks do. I didn't like this that much. I felt like it was super, super tingly on my skin, and almost not in a good way. Like, I wasn't sure if it was supposed to be that stingy, you know? I think it just had a lot of products in it that were like very, very intense. Do I know what those were? No. Moroccan lava clay? Oh, there's alcohol in it. Some kind of leaf charcoal powder. Like, a lot of these, I'm like, yeah. So, would not repurchase that. This was just a sample that my partner had. And then we've got some random little single things. So this is some makeup removing wipes that I had for way too long. I was just trying to use these up this year. I actually have another set that are less like dried out that I probably just need to move on out. You can tell by like how crinkly this is, how long I've had it. Glad I finished those off. And then we've got a face mask. This is the Healthy Glow Sheet Mask from Patchology Mood Mask. Just let it glow. I like this. It was nice to try a face mask for the first time, like one of these sheet masks, but I don't think I would buy more because it's just single use. Who does single use anymore if they can help it? You know what I mean? I just didn't find that this made enough of a difference to justify it. And then we've got, this is hair. So we're moving on to hair next. This is the Amika Flash Instant Shine Mask. I really like this. I really like the scent. It actually reminded me of my Harajuku Lovers perfume. And this was just the sample from Sephora from the birthday gift. So I do actually have one more Amika conditioner to use up. But I'm glad that I got that out because sometimes with nicer products, I'm like, oh, I should save it. I shouldn't use it. No, it's the point of stuff is to be used. Okay, on to hair. Dry shampoo. We've got 2. I have an Herbal Essences dry shampoo and a Garnier Fructis dry shampoo. I would say the Herbal Essences one is better, but it is not cruelty free. And I don't think you can find it at the dollar store, whereas this one is cruelty free and you can find it at the drugstore. So I probably would buy this again if I had run out. I really would rather just get dry shampoos on buns, so that's what I'm trying to do. But yeah, these are both good and I would repurchase this if I had to. These are the John Frieda Sheer Blonde Lightning Sprays. I use these on my hair. I don't dye it, but I use like lightning spray, so it's like not quite as bad for your hair. These are not cruelty free, but I do find them good products, so I would get them again if I found them on buns or something. They're just minis though, so they didn't last a super long time. And then we've got conditioner. You can tell I don't have a ton of stuff to say about hair products because, you know, these reviews are quite short. But this one is the Biotin OGX conditioner. This, I don't even know where this came from. I can't believe I just finished this year because it feels so old. Like, I don't remember using this. It must have been at the very, very beginning of the year. Look how big this thing is. Obviously, it took a long time. I'm just glad to have it out. Conditioner is something that, like, I don't buy, but I still always seem to have so many. Like, right now, what's the one I'm working through? Oh yeah, the conditioner I'm working through right now is like from a hotel we stayed at on our trip, and then I have a backup Amika one. So I just feel like conditioner comes into my life, and this one is a sample. I think my partner was given it as a present. Body Shop. I love their tea tree oil face wash. That is my holy grail, but I found that their other products I don't like as much. This one I just felt was like gelatinous, like kind of gloopy. The banana scent I didn't love. And then last was this Lush little sample. It says Happy Happy Joy Joy Hour perfume, but this was a conditioner. I actually really like the conditioner, so that's probably something that I would consider purchasing in the future. Oh, but I have a backup conditioner bar anyways, so yeah, I won't need to purchase in the future. I would consider purchasing it if it didn't come in a container. I don't know how that would be possible if I could like bring my own jar, but yeah, really like the scent of that. I think that's all of my hair stuff. So let's move on to body. Let's start with body cream. So this is the cranberry body lotion from the Body Shop. Quite a nice scent actually, very nice, but I don't know how long I had this. I think this one was also kind of shimmery, so I didn't love that. I don't know why it had taken me so long to use it up, probably because there was other moisturizers that I was trying to use up. But yeah, like because it was a mini, it couldn't take that long. I don't even remember this one. Totally forgot about it because it was so long ago. This one is the Dead Sea Skincare Blue Ocean Aromatic Body Cream enriched with sea salt. I got this one in Israel on my birthright trip, so it had like Dead Sea salt in it. I don't know. This was fine. Oh, it looks kind of gross in there now. I think because I finished it almost a year ago, so it's just like, ugh, kind of festering. Yeah, I don't use body cream that much, so it takes me a long time to get through them. Like 2 seems like a lot to me, but I feel like to other people, they'd be like, oh, I finished off like 6 full-size body creams this year. That's not me. I've got one body scrub. This was the Iced Pear Margarita. I actually considered getting rid of this, like posting it on Buns before I opened it, but I was like, you know what? I'm probably not going to buy body scrub again, so why don't I just enjoy my last tub of one? This was Bath & Body Works. I think it was a present, and I actually quite liked it, but it just feels like a step in my bath/shower routine that I don't need. Seems extraneous. Also, Bath & Body Works is not cruelty-free, and packaging, don't love that, so whatever. I'll just try to stay moisturized by using cream more, even though it's a struggle. We've got 2 scents. Let's talk about the more exciting one first. This is Enchanted Wonderstruck from Taylor Swift. I'm so tempted to keep this bottle. I don't think I'm going to because I have 2 backups. Like I have 2 more of these and I think they're a larger size. Ugh, the scent is so good. I love the scent so much, so I'm so glad that I have the backups. This is the kind of thing that like I wanted to save, but I was like, Lara, you have other ones. You're going to be stalked in it for a while. You don't need to savor it. You just need to finish it. And so I did that. So I'm proud of myself for doing that. And then I've got a Malibu Heat Shimmer Mist. This actually was shimmery, which I didn't love because like, yeah, that's good for the beach or on holiday, but like who wants to just be going about their life shimmering, you know? But I did use it up. This is the final body spray in my collection. Before this year, I was just on this mission to finish off my body sprays, and with this, I finally did. So I've moved on to perfume now. I feel very adult. And then, lastly, in this body category, we've got deodorants. Very exciting. I wasn't sure if I should mention these or not, but hey, they're empties. This is the Dove 0% Aluminum Coconut and Pink Jasmine scent. I got this from a Buns trade. This is really solid, like it just keeps you smelling good. This one I actually gave to my partner because it was aluminum free, cruelty free, better for the planet and all that, but I think he needs the heavier stuff. At least that's what he told me, so I ended up using it up. And yeah, I thought it was nice. There is still some product in it, but you can't like, you know what I mean? Like it's just really difficult to get out. So this one is definitely more intense, but I thought that this one was good too. Those are my body products. Now we've just got some misc things like candles and whatnot. So let's move on to that final category. Whew, this is gonna be a long video. Last category, we've got misc. I don't know how else to describe it. So let's start off with the candles because I actually finished 2 this year. I had slowly been working through my stash of candles because I had a bunch of Bath & Body Works ones, as everyone does, but you know, I work through things pretty slowly, so I couldn't tell you what year I got these. I actually quite liked both of them, but I think they had both been presents. This one was more of a summer scent. It is Georgia Peach, so you know, it smelled very peachy, springy summer. Yeah, it's still got a bit of that scent in there. And then we've got this one. It was in the scent Cinnamon. I love the top. Look at that. Do people do ASMR with candles? I don't know. I don't know why I've started doing this. This has like a very spicy, very cinnamon heart scent, but it was very nice in the fall and winter. I kind of want to keep this because it's so pretty and just like display it somewhere. Is that weird? I don't know what to do with candles. Like I feel like these are useful containers. Do people want them? Maybe I'll try posting them on a Facebook Buy Nothing group, but otherwise, you know, they're just gonna get recycled at loss of 10 like everything else. I'm just glad that I got these out because they take up a lot of space on any like, you know, mantle or dresser or whatever. And now we have two much more like minimal ones, you know, better brands than Bath and Body Works. And then let's talk about nails next. So this was the Q-Tex Ultra Powerful Nail Polish Remover. I don't do nail polish that often. I just find it kind of cumbersome. It would be one thing if you applied it and that was it, but nails take so much maintenance. I find like most of my nail polishes, after a couple days, I'll need to touch them up. A few days after that, I'll have to touch them up, and then eventually I'll just give up because they don't look good anymore. So then I'll have to figure out if I want to like slowly chip it off or if I want to remove it with nail polish remover. It's just such a hassle to me. So anyways, I don't do them too often, and this probably took me ages to get through, but there you are. It was fine. I don't think this brand is cruelty-free. This is not the one that I repurchased. And then we've got this contact solution from Bausch & Lomb BioTrue. Do I gotta give a review on this? I don't know. And then we've got some tooth stuff. This is 3 toothpaste. I actually had 4, but the other one we finished in Turkey, so we got rid of it there. One is the Hello brand, and then 2 are Burt's Bees, but they're all slightly different, and I like all of these. I would recommend all of them. Good cruelty-free toothpastes. And then this was an Opti rinse that I was prescribed. Took a long time to get through because I don't like it. Didn't taste good. I mean, you know, when your dentist prescribes you something, it's probably not going to be like, oh, this is a need to have. This is a favorite. I don't know. I probably didn't need to mention that. And then this last one is this White Bean Champagne Toast hand soap. This is from Bath and Body Works. I'm kind of enjoying having long nails for now. But this was from my friend because I actually recently have been using Blue Land soap. But for those, you need like a foam pump. This one was not, so it did not really work, but she has since declared to us an actual foam pump hand soap, and so that's a container in which we put our Blue Land soap. So I don't know what the original scent of this was, but it is an empty. I can't believe this camera has not put up any struggle today at all. That's got to be a first. I think it's because between takes, I was like taking pictures of the products so that I can make a reel or include them here in this video, and so it didn't get overheated or anything. But yeah, that is it. Those are all of my empties. I didn't count up the like hair care and skincare and everything empties, so I don't know how many total that is, but maybe I can put a number here somewhere so I know the total number of empties for the year. I'm so excited that I got so many things out of my life this year, and I feel like it's looked the same over the past few years. Like I've had a huge bag of stuff to get rid of, but as I've slowly decluttered stuff that I won't repurchase, for example, you know, that scrub or some makeup things I don't feel I need anymore, or these massive through-it candles, I don't think I will have as many empties at the end of the year, which is a goal because it is so much plastic. It is so much stuff that I then, you know, have to deal with and recycle. So I want to minimize that as much as possible. Even if I brought stuff in secondhand, you know, I still think about the packaging. So that is it for today's video. I am going to talk about what I'm reading. So let's hop into that. Okay, so today I'm actually talking about a newspaper/newsletter, kind of, because I've already spoken in recent videos about what I've been reading lately, but this is called the theSkimm. I'm not actually sure how popular this is among people I know. A lot of people seem to know it, but it's probably not super well known. But it's basically an email every single day with the news. Now, keep in mind, it is very US centric. So a lot of the time I'll just like completely skip over a section because I'm like, I don't need to know what this niche politician is doing in Arkansas. You know, like obviously American politics affect the rest of the world and they are very related to Canadian politics, so sometimes I do read it, but just keep that in mind, okay? Americans, I'm sure you'll be happy, but everyone else, you know, it's not necessary. I will also say that it is super, like, they try to sell you stuff a lot. It didn't used to be this way because I've been subscribed, honestly, probably for like 8 years now. I don't read it every single day, but if I feel like reading a bit of the news and staying informed, then I'll read it in the morning. It comes in at like 6:30ish a.m. But yeah, at the end of every newspaper, you know, it advertises a bunch of products, but just ignore that bit. The news is actually very well written. I find it pretty like objective / left leaning, and a lot of the time I have found it super useful to know what's going on in the world. I'm trying to read it more this year, you know, 2023. I'm trying to be informed again, because for a while I just didn't read it. But yeah, if you want to try to stay informed, I would highly recommend theSkimm. I will link it down below. Like, you can sign up. It's free. It's totally free. I find it a really good resource. I do like to keep aware of US politics a bit, so some bits are too niche, but some parts are really helpful. It always starts out with like a funny tagline, and then there's like some event that happened the day before that is just like good to know for pop culture. And then this particular one, I mean, this was like months ago. I'm just pulling up random ones. This was about Lula being elected in Brazil. Finally, oh my god. The fact that Bolsonaro is out. So, you know, sometimes they put stuff about other countries, and it's not super long. I would say it takes no longer than like 5 minutes to read. So anyways, I will link it down below if you want to sign up. It's totally free. You can opt out at any time. If you want to stay more in the know, it's a good, easy, fast, cheap way to do it. I've been meaning to talk about it for ages. I keep being like, oh, I should mention theSkimm, but now since I'm actually back to reading it, I feel like I can. But that's gonna be it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I'm sorry it was quite long, but I knew that was gonna happen. Let me know what videos you're looking forward to seeing from me in the upcoming weeks. Don't forget, I have my inventory coming and lots of fun stuff. So I will talk to you soon. Bye.